big outsider he was talking about. He was wearing the scarf of the Nikolai Schuster horse racing syndicate, and Daniel Holden's just slipped his feet out of the irons because she was threatening to get a hold of him, but he thus far has got quite a good hold of her.
It was someday in Leopardstown when she won. You know, the Nikolai Schuster Racing Club, it was a brilliant day, and the crack they got out of it, and I guess the emotion on the day as well. But brilliant. And she was a 50-1 shot that day. She's a similar price today, but why not come over and have a go?
They're already enjoying it. We've seen them having their pictures in the paddock and, taking it all in.
It's always good to just sprinkle something different into this meeting. You know, we've had a lot of clinical efficiency this week. Let's talk about some of those at the head of the market. We were midway talking through Laurina. Martin was sort of saying, yes, she does look like a proper one. Everything that we're hearing from Ireland is that she could be the next. Well, listen, Willie Mullins has had some serious mares. Annie Power, Vroom Vroom Mag, Let's Dance, Limini, Benny de Dieu.
Yeah, like Benny de Dieu is the latest one. Yeah, look, I guess the vibe about her is very strong. Her performance the last day at Fairyhouse was very good. She just did it very easily, came clear of Alatrix in second place, and then Alatrix went out and won a decent race at Leopardstown after that. Okay, she was £9 well in, but it's as much the vibe as it is the substance of what she's done.
Okay, let's head out front and join Stuart.
Well, thanks, Nick. Yeah, the runners are just making their way out onto the course. Ellie Mack is just in front of us at the moment. Now, she's been out for a while, and as you can see, she's very much on her toes. She's got to go off to her left and get onto the canter down, but she's not being entirely cooperative. I don't think there's any malice in it, and Daniel Holden has got her well in hand, but she came out very much with the intent of getting to the start as quickly as possible, and you can see now she's just a little bit stirred up and a little bit lit up. We'll keep the camera on her whilst we wait for the others to turn and come past us. I want to try and keep her off that walkway if they can, because there's a chance if she gets on that, in the mood that she's in, she might just slip up, and Daniel has done the sensible thing and kicked his feet out of the irons. But it's a big moment for some of these mares. They won't ever have seen a crowd quite like this. Of course, it is a long way down on that walkway before they get out onto the track. She might be all right when she gets a bit of company. Sam Twiston-Davies has taken a turn in front of us on Angel's Antics, and he's just going to follow Ellie Mack down. And now she's got some other mares around her. Ellie Mack is okay, and she's cantered off without any problem at all. So the first, 7 or 8 are on their way down. The next cluster are heading down the hill in the direction of the start, and we've got amongst them High School Days and Davy Russell in the Jigginstown Silks. The nose-banded mare, Champagne Lady, and behind that pair, Pietra Lunga, in striped sleeves for David Mullins. And there are 2 or 3 more still to turn at the top end of the course by the looks of things. And among the last ones out, Maria's Benefit. She's come out just a little bit behind the main cluster. You can probably just about see her in the distance. She's still making her way in the opposite direction. Laurina generally still 2s on, having touched 8 to 15 by the looks of things. I'm just looking at a betting sharp on the big screen. 5 to 1 Maria's Benefit. High School Days a 9's chance. Capsule did get as big as 12s, generally speaking, is now more general 10 to 1. Last 3 just coming back, so let's have a look at these before we leave them and pick them up again on the way down to the start. This is Cut the Mustard, white cap for Noel Philly, another Mullins representative, and then Paddy Brennan aboard Capsule, who should certainly relish these conditions. And if we just wait for Maria's Benefit and Kieran Gethings to come down, because she's coming down the hill pretty steadily, and as Jane slowly pans the camera around to the left, we'll alight upon her. So she'll be the last one off down to the 2-mile start for this Troll House Stud Mares Novices Hurdle. Registers the Dawn Run, the Grade 2, and the last 2 to go down, the 2 chief English hopes, Capsule and Maria's Benefit, as we flagged up already in terms of Great Britain against Ireland. It's all been one-way traffic since Tuesday.
Yeah, and we know the only real contest was between Mullins and Elliott in that particular competition. But let's talk about Maria's Benefit, because she is a very talented mare on actual achievement, probably not that far behind Laurina. It's just a question of whether she can build on her season or whether her season has peaked already, Martin.
Yeah, in terms of actual achievement, you could argue ahead of Laurina. She's got a higher official rating. She's a Grade 2 winner at Doncaster last time, and she has been a revelation so far this season. She's got a cracking attitude, a really likeable way of going about things, just so enthusiastic, and then she digs deep and finds.
And we would assume that she will be ridden to to her strength, which is strong galloping on the front end.
Yes, and that she will test Laurina more than she's been tested before. That's not to say Laurina won't be up to it at all, but the gallop that Maria's Benefit will set will be a stronger one than what Laurina's been had to face in her previous couple of races.
Yeah, the way that she battled back the last day when Irish Road came up to her and looked like she was going to go by her, like she picked up again, like that. She's a real gutsy mare, and she's had a nice break. I know Irish Road disappointed next time in the Betfair Hurdle, but Maria's Benefit's had a nice break since then.
I think you both make an excellent point. The point we learned last time, even though she wasn't devastating and it wasn't a bloodless victory, is that we knew she had more game than just dominating inferiors.
Yeah, which she had done at Taunton prior to that, where she went clear and was clear from halfway down the back straight. So we learnt a little bit about her last time out. Laurina could just be a complete cut above, couldn't she? She could be a cut above what Maria's Benefit has tackled before. The betting market is absolutely in one direction.
Yes, and rather stagnating at the moment as well, because I'm not sure anyone really wants to get stuck into anything each way, but the 7-4 on is probably not that appealing unless you think Laurina is an absolute certainty. Which is the best of the other Irish, do you think, Dom?
Yeah.
Or the most interesting, perhaps?
High School Days is interesting. Henry de Bromhead's filly. It's taken her a while, but the penny seems to have dropped with her last couple of runs. She's won her last or 3 previous runs before she went to the Muscat Flyer Hurdle last time at Punchestown, and she stepped up significantly in grade there. The first 3 home there were Get a Bird, Mengley Can and Carter McCain. She wasn't that far behind them back into a grade 2 contest now against fillies or against mares. She could run well.
I thought Cap Soleil was interesting.
Yeah.
Certainly first up this season, she looked a bit of a star. Hasn't quite replicated that form either in the defeat or the subsequent victory, but Connections think they've got her back, I think.
And we know that she was a very good mare in bumpers last season when she proved herself at the track as well. She won a listed bumper around here. She was really good that day. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see her hit the frame.
Stuart Edmonds struck last year in the Kim Muir against the odds with Doomsday Book. If in just his second full season with a licence he could have a second Cheltenham Festival winner, that would be a quite extraordinary achievement, particularly set against the backdrop of the dominant forces we've seen this week. He's responsible for Maria's Benefit. He'll be ridden by Kieran Gethings, seeking festival glory, but against them, the formidable Willie Mullins, looking to make it 3 out of 3 in this race, all 3 running since its inception, and he has Laurina and much, much more. For the Trollhouse Stud Mares Novices Hurdle, let's join Simon.
And not surprisingly, perhaps, Laurina looks a real knockout. Good-sized mare, real looker in the red, pink hoop and armlets, red cap. Same ownership, cut the mustard in a white cap. And Maria's Benefit going forward as expected under Kieran Gethings in the walk round here in the blue jacket. Connection say she doesn't have to make the running, but she's been very effective doing so. Flag is raised. They're about to come in. Some very orderly starts overall so far this week, and they're walking forward very quietly, and they're off and they're racing for the Grade 2 Trollhouse Stud Mares Novices Hurdle. Spice Girl on the far side of Maria's Benefit in the blue colours as they arrive at the first, and Maria's Benefit is the leader. A mistake at the first from Salsaretta. Maria's Benefit going on, cut the mustard on the near side, nose banded Spice Girl on the far side. Eddie Mack is handy, and then Salsaretta followed by Brewergate. Laurina is held up in 6th, 7th, about 8th place on the far side of Angel's Antics, then Countista, and then High School Days back in the field under Davy Russell seeking this 4-timer. Further back is Dawn Shadow, then Cap Soleil held up well off the pace, followed by Pietra Lunga, and Champagne Lady is the back marker. And the early pace looking pretty honest here, with Maria's Benefit on the inside of Cut the Mustard, 2 or 3 lengths clear of Spice Girl on the far side as they arrive at flight number 2. Maria's Benefit comes in to take it, jumps it well from Cut the Mustard, and they're all safely over. And the front pair have a break of about 5 lengths over Spice Girl now. In 3rd place, another 3 then to Ellie Mack from Salsaretta, then the favourite Laurina, followed by Ruagate, and then Countista, High School Days on the inside, Dawn Shadow. Angel's Antics is being bumped along towards the back straight, and then on the inside, Cap Soleil from Pietra Lunga, and lastly Champagne Lady. The front two, if anything, going further clear, Maria's Benefit and Cut the Mustard. They must be a good 7 or 8 clear now of Spice Girl as they head towards the first of the 3 flights in the back straight. Maria's Benefit put herself right on the inside of Cut the Mustard, and they are a good way ahead now. Spice Girl, Ellie Mack, Laurina, out wide Ruagate, the pink-jacketed Salsaretta on the inside, Countista and Dawn Shadow as they arrive at the next. And then towards the rear still, High School Days from Cap Soleil and Angel's Antics. Pietra Lunga on the inside in dark colours, and the yellow-jacketed Champagne Lady. Clearing the next, it was Maria's Benefit with a fractional advantage over Cut the Mustard on her outside in the hands of Noel Feely. Kieran Gethings and Noel Feely, they both remain clear. Spice Girl is back in third, then Ellie Mack, and Laurina just moving up on the outside under Paul Townend now, then Salsaretta. They're approaching the third last flight, but a very long way from the finish. Maria's Benefit by a half length going into this one, jumps it boldly, out jumps Cut the Mustard, Spice Girl, and down there one that was badly hampered was High School Days, and Dawn Shadow was the one that fell, but High School Days was completely knocked out of her stride and is now well out of touch as they reach the top of the hill. And Cut the Mustard having another cut at Maria's Benefit. Are they taking each other on here as they race on now with the long run towards the second last? Laurina moving into third place on the outside of Ellie Mack, and then Spice Girl. Countista is improving in the JP McManus colours as they race down towards this second last flight. After these is Salsaretta, they're strung out. Spice Girl on the inside, Ruagate, Champagne Lady, then Pietra Lunga right out the back. Cap Soleil is trying to run on in a red cap, but still second last. Here is the second last, and it's still Maria's Benefit with Cut the Mustard diving away to her right, but Laurina now cruising up in the slipstream of Maria's Benefit as they run towards the final turn. Cut the Mustard on the outside. Countista is closing and darts towards the inside there as Laurina now takes Maria's Benefit and quickly moves on. Laurina very easily indeed under Paul Towning, absolutely cruising, chancing a look at the big screen, and Laurina is just sidling clear, ambling away from Maria's Benefit, who's no slouch, and then Countista. And Laurina rated one of the bankers of the week. Well, she looks like it here, going towards the last. Laurina is a good 8 or 10 lengths clear. The final flight, oh, she hit it pretty hard. Maybe she was getting lonely. Maria's Benefit over in second, then Countista. Salsaretta is down at the last, but this is one of the easiest winners of the week here. Laurina just looks in a different league. Laurina, all class, wins the Troll House Stud Mares Novices Hurdle. Tight for the minors, a scramble. Champagne Lady on the far side of Cap Soleil, and then Maria's Benefit fading back into fourth.
One-way traffic. Laurina makes it 7 at the Cheltenham Festival 2018 for Willie Mullins. He opined before the meeting that she might be out of the top draw. She possibly is. This was completely uncompetitive as Cheltenham races go. She has made a mockery of her field here. It's a quite close call for second place between the running on Cap Soleil, who's come from an impossible position, and Champagne Lady. A couple of quite nasty falls in that race, and the faller at the last was Salsaretta, and Paul Townend is the man who has ridden the winner, and Robbie Power is now up, having been on the ground for some time, having fallen from Salsaretta. Another winner for Paul Townend. What a week it's turning into for him. A winner missed by Ruby Walsh. Bloodless victory. Yeah,
she just oozed last the whole way through the race, and her jumping here was good. She's actually improved her jumping from the last day. It very has. The pace was fast. We knew it would be. Cut the Mustard up there with Maria's Benefit, and she just tanked through the race. She made her ground easy down the hill, and she just came clear as easily as she liked with Paul Townend. Didn't have to be very busy on her at all.
The other heavy faller was Dawn Shadow, Rachel Blackmore. Dawn Shadow is up and is walking back. But this was an extraordinarily impressive performance, whichever way you cut it. Well, yes, this race is not the most competitive. In fact, it's the least competitive race of the week anyway, Martin. But in Maria's Benefit, she's chasing down a very good mare. In the horse who's eventually finished second, Cap Soleil, we have a mare that's already reached a rating in the mid-130s, and she's just laughed at them.
She really has. The stage was set for a big performance because of the gallop set by not only Maria's benefit but also her owner mate Cut the Mustard as well. There was a little bit of team tactics going on there, I think, in terms of ensuring the gallop was there for Laurina, not to pull and to settle and just to switch off. But this is a wildly impressive performance, isn't it? As soon as Townend let an inch of rain out coming down the hill, she's picked up 5 or 6 lengths on the front runners without even breathing. I think she's the best 2-mile novice by a country mile, taking into account the Supreme Novice the other day as well, and I think we'll see it this spring.
Sal Soretta is up, Robbie Power is up, Dawn Shadow is up, just to reiterate that. Not come off the bridle.